The history of Basilian Sisters in Romania. The origin of the Basilian Sisters in Romania can be found in Gherla, Eparchy of Cluj-Gherla in 1946. The founder of the Basilian Sisters in Romania was Mother Maria Fechete, born in 1904 to a Greek Catholic family in Satu Mare. When she was 18 years old, she entered the congregation of the Vincentian Sisters of Charity, who were Roman Catholics and spoke Hungarian. She received the habit on July 1924, and she received the religious name Anna. She professed her first vows on September 14, 1925. After her vows, Sister Anna studied nursing and then worked in a hospital. Her first year in religious life was a time of great spiritual peace and consolation. During her formational years of religious life, Mother Anna began to experience a deep spiritual struggle and trial. Many young Greek Catholic Romanian women from the surrounding villages entered the Roman Catholic community, but because they knew little or no Hungarian, many went home, unable to adapt to all the changes required upon entering the monastery. Clearly understanding the difficulty of the situation, Mother Anna felt a deep calling to respond to their problem. She found herself caught between the desire to do something for these women and the fear that her agitation was nothing more than a temptation by which the devil was trying to make her abandon her vocation. Because of her doubts, she accepted the advice of a spiritual director who told her to pray patiently and wait to know God's will. In 1940, during the time of the World War II, the Sister of Charity in Budapest asked the convent at Satu Mare to send some nurse sisters to take care of the wounded people. Sister Anna was chosen for that mission. In 1944, a priest asked if Mother Anna would be willing to accompany a seriously wounded officer to Gherla in Romania. She accepted, knowing that it would not be an easy task. After they arrived in Gherla, having delivered the sick man to his family, she remained for a while in Gherla to rest. While going to church, she met a Basilian monk, Leon Manu, the superior of the monastery from Nicula. Mother Anna opened her soul to him and spoke of her inner desire since before leaving Hungary, that of founding a community for young Romanian Greek Catholic women. Father Leon said that the Basilian fathers had the same hope, the foundation of a feminine branch of the Basilians, and he was ready to help her. She left her congregation and together with Father Leon Manu in 1946, they began the steps to establish a community of Basilian Sisters. She received the approval from Bishop Iuliu Hosu also. In 1948, when the Greek Catholic Church was declared illegal, she received the Church's approval for the new community. In Gherla there was a nursing home belonging to the Armenian Church, which was left without sisters, who after the end of the war went to Germany. The nursing home in Gherla was entrusted to Mother Anna by Monsignor Lengel Zoltan. It became the first monastery for the young candidates, and their ministry was to take care of the elderly. Many young women felt God's call and revealed their desire to Mother Anna, devoting themselves to God through monastic vows. These women who knew Mother Anna personally were Sister Mihaela Suciu, Sister Macrina Presecan, and Sister Rosalia Tintelecan. Father Leon Manu was the first collaborator in the foundation. We hold the memory of Father Leon Manu with great affection. He was the Basilian priest who supported Mother Ana in the foundation of the Basilian Sisters in Romania. At that time, he was the superior of the monastery at Nicula and helped Mother Ana to complete all the official steps to obtain approval for the community and to begin the spiritual formation for the young candidates from 1946 to 1948. Father Manu was arrested in October of 1948. Mother Ana had a good cooperation with the Jesuits. After Father Manu's arrest, a group of Jesuits were sent to Gherla under house arrest, under the watchful eyes of the police, but also with the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. The Jesuit fathers, under the leadership of Father Kira, accepted the work of directing the formation of the candidates who remained with Mother Ana. Thus, they organized three secret ceremonies of reception celebrated between March 1952 and March 1954, preparing a group of 10 young sisters. The first 4 sisters were received on March 25, 1952, and given symbolic names, Petronella, Paula, Basilia, and Benedicta. On November 21, Sister Mihaela and Gabriela were received, and on August 15, 1953, Sisters Macrina, Felicia, and Monica, and finally, on March 25, 1954, Sister Annunziata. In 1959, Mother Ana was arrested and sentenced 4 years in prison. The charge for which she was sentenced was, in 1946, together with the deceased monk Leon Manu, she attempted to found a congregation of Greek Catholic nuns. Before her arrest, some sisters had left Gherla seeking a place to work. Out of 10, only 4 of them remained in Gherla: Sister Basilia, Sister Benedicta, Sister Mihaela, and Sister Annunziata. Mother Ana was sent to different prisons, in Cluj, Văcărești, and Miercurea-Ciuc. When she came out of prison, she was very ill and remained with her family in Satu Mare until her death on January 4, 1970. Father Sabin Dăncuș, the refounder of the Basilian Sisters in Romania. God's work is wonderful and surprising. In 1970, the very year in which Mother Ana left this world, the community had a new beginning. Many times she had promised that she would pray for the community, even if it seemed that the community had disappeared, and her prayers were heard. Thus, in 1970, Basilian Father Sabin Dăncuș refounded the community of the Basilian Sisters in Cluj. Even though the Greek Catholic Church was underground, the years 1972-1989 were years of glory for the community. 56 sisters entered the novitiate, 44 made temporary vows, and 18 professed perpetual vows. The first sisters who entered the novitiate in Cluj in 1972 were, on February 18, Sister Justina Iusco, on May 28, Sister Ioana Bota, Sister Ecaterina Pintea, and Sister Agneta Kindriș. After beginning the work of formation with the sisters, Father Dăncuș heard from his fellow Basilian, Father Petru Jiman, that another community of Basilian sisters existed in Gherla. This way, a connection grew between the group in Cluj and the 4 sisters remaining from those who entered with Mother Anna, Sisters Basilia, Benedicta, Mihaela, and Macrina, who came together with the new community that had been formed in Cluj. After that was the election of the first superior of Basilian Sisters from Romania. Father Sabin Dăncuș, knowing that the leadership of the community of sisters should not remain to a priest, he looked for a sister who could take on the role of superior, while he would remain their spiritual director. On February 26, 1978, Sister Ioana Bota was elected the first superior of the Romanian Basilian Sisters. We might consider the period from 1980 to 1989 as the flowering of the community. During those years, many young women entered the community, so that at the end of 1989, when the Church regained her freedom, the community had 48 sisters and 5 postulants. In the time of communism, the sisters were organized in 4 local communities for periodic meetings: the community in Cluj, the community in Gherla. This was the habit during the communist time, used only at community meetings which took place once a month. The community in Năsăud Maieru. This was the community with the most young sisters. The community in Sălăjeni. From September 21st until October 21st, 1988, was the first visit to Rome of Sister Valeria Bolfa, who brought information about the existence of the sisters in Romania to the Generalate. A few months before the fall of the communism, the Basilian Sisters had the joy of receiving the first visit of a Basilian General Superior, Mother Christopher Malkovski, and Sister Gabriela Huzulac, a General Counselor. The sisters in Romania asked the General Superior to be incorporated in the Basilian Order. Happily impressed with what she had seen in Romania, in June 1989, Mother Christopher made a proposal to the 6th General Chapter in Rome that the sister from Romania be received and incorporated in the order with the status of a province. The proposal was accepted. Mother Ioana Bota played a very important role in the process, and also Father Sabin Dăncuș. On July 2, 1989, the prefect of the Congregation for the Eastern Churches, His Eminence Cardinal Simon Lurdusami, approved the incorporation of the Romanian sisters as a province in the Order of the Sisters of Saint Basil the Great. After this approval, Mother Christopher published the 359 decree dated July 19 from 1989, incorporating the Romanian sisters into the order with the status of a province under the patronage of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. The freedom period was in 1990. The sisters were present at the episcopal ordination of bishops Lucian Mureșan and Vasile Hosu in Baia Mare, and also George Guțiu in Cluj-Napoca. The sisters were for the first time dressed in monastic habits. This was the house of Sister Veronica Schuschmann, where St. Macrina Monastery was to be built from 1990 to 1993. In 1990 was the first visit of the Provincial Superior of the Generalate in Rome. This was the first community opened to Cluj in a small house offered by the Băreanu family in October 1990. Many sisters and candidates came there and formed a large community. At that time, this house served as the provincial house because the monastery was not built yet. In August 1990, at the invitation of Bishop Ioan Ploscaru, three sisters, Laurentia, Veridiana and Marcela, went to Lugoj and opened a new community. These three sisters had lived their religious life together since 1985. They were the first sisters to go out into a mission. In the beginning, they lived in the house of Miss Elena Petrescu. Then, on July 23, 1992, the sister bought the current house. In 1990, Sister Valentina Hădărău went to study in Rome, being in an international community of Basilian students in Rome. On October 15, 1991, another community opened in Cluj in a house of the eparchy for the sisters who worked in the kitchen at the Theological Institute. The opening of novitiate to Albano-Laziale. After the freedom of the Greek Catholic Church, the Basilian Sisters in Romania had many vocations, but didn't have a monastery where to bring sisters information. Mother Dia Stasiuc, the General Superior, proposed that the novices to go to Albano-Laziale at the monastery of the Contemplative Basilian Sisters. From November 1991 until June 1993, there were 60 novices accompanied by the novice directress Sister Valentina Hădărău and helped by Sister Laurentia Bolfa. The sisters had private visits with the Holy Father on September 26, 1992. As he left Castle Gandolfo, he greeted each novice. On July 18, 1993 was the blessing of St. Macrina Monastery. We rejoiced to have the Apostolic Nuncio John Bukovski, Archbishop Lucian Mureșan of Maramureș, Bishop George Guțiu of Cluj-Gherla, and many priests at the celebration. We were also accompanied by Sister Basilia Kuzmikova and Sister Gabriela Huzulac, General Counselor from the Generalate, as well as Basilian Sisters from Hungary and Slovakia. During 2001 and 2004, the monastery of St. Macrina expanded by adding a church and a house of formation. On April 22, 1993, we purchased the sisters' first house in Gherla. In 2000 was bought a new house near the first one. In 2003-2005, there were renovations made to the house. Another community was opened in Baia Mare. In September 1993, we received the donation of a house and land from the Pașca family from Baia Mare. It was their desire that a monastery for pilgrimage to be built there. There was built a spirituality center at Baia Mare. In the midst of this oasis of peace and quiet, surrounded by God's marvelous creation, the center has housed many groups of monks, nuns, priests, priests' wives, lay people, different groups who came for retreats, camps or meetings, and the pilgrimage on August 15. Some activities at the Spirituality Center in Baia Mare. In 1999, the kindergarten was open. Dr. Strâmbu Gheorghe gave to sisters the donation of his house in Cluj-Napoca. His wish was that the house would become an educational center for children. In 1999, the Saint Anne Kindergarten was opened there. Today, 10 sisters work there. Providence Clinic. Since 1996, some sisters have been working at the Providence Clinic, opened by Sister Anita Green, together with Sister Sandra. The clinic was opened to offer medical consultation, counseling, and prenatal exercise to women. In 1998, Sister Sandra, returning to the United States of America, leaving the Romanian Basilians in charge of the clinic. Now the sisters there do neuromotor recovery exercises for children with disabilities, lymphatic, drainage, massage, and medical gymnastics. Some sisters participated in the Bishops' Synod. On October 2, 29, in 1994, Sister Valentina Hădărău participated in the Bishops' Synod in the Vatican with the theme Consecrated Life in the Church and in the World. During October 1st, 23, 1999, Sister Ioana Bota participated in the Second Assembly of the Synod of Bishops for Europe in the Vatican. Sisters help the poor ones. In each community, the sisters have been sensitive to the needy and have served food to those who knocked on the monastery door. There have been times when it was necessary to prepare food for up to 40 people. Another way of helping the poor has been organizing collections from the faithful in Lent or Christmas, and then distributing the food to those in need, to far-off villages where benefactors cannot go. Sisters do catechesis for children and youth at the monasteries and in many parishes. We have a nice collaboration with Our Lady of Perpetual Help province from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. We are grateful to God for this mutual and fruitful help, and we will be happy to collaborate with other provinces as well. Our message for today's word is symbolized by Christian charity toward the people of the society in which we live. May we bear Christ to all the people with whom we come in contact and serve.